Welcome to Dubrovnik. We have just spent the last few days enjoying this incredible historical city, and I've got to say it's probably one of my favorite cities in the whole of Europe. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top tips and top things to do that you need to add to your itinerary when you visit here. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Let's get into the video. The first thing on that list is book a walking tour of the Old Town. We're actually in the Old Town right now, and this is Stradon, the busiest road in the entire city, and you can see there's so many people everywhere, and this is just an absolutely chaotic place. But the best thing to do when you first come to the Old Town is to do a walking tour with a knowledgeable tour guide, because the worst thing in the world is coming to a city like this and not knowing what you're seeing. So the best way to learn about it is by joining a local. Now, the tour that I recommend will be linked in the video description below. We were joined by Ivo, who gave us a walking tour of the city walls, which was amazing. Now, be aware, if you do want to book the walking tour, you do have to buy the Dubrovnik City Pass, which is 35 euros, and it gives you access to the city walls and also many of the museums. If you don't buy the Dubrovnik City Pass and you only pay for the city walls, you will be paying 35 euros and not get the added benefits. So bear that in mind.
Well, I just think when you get here, it can be quite overwhelming. There's so many streets. So to start with a walking tour is perfect because you just get to see where things are.
Absolutely. And also when you are on the city walls, bear in mind that the bars and cafes are extremely expensive.
Oh yeah.
I think we spent like 8 euros for a coffee.
We brought like a banana and a cereal bar with us, thank God.
So definitely do that. Make sure you bring a snack bar and a drink with you.
But we still stopped, didn't we, for juice.
And that's travel tip number 1. Make sure you book a walking tour of the Old Town. Next on the list, the Elaphiti Islands. Now, the 3 Elaphiti Islands consist of Šipan, Lapad, and Kolosep. They're all amazing islands, but I just found being on the water was my favorite part.
Definitely.
You have to visit these 3 incredible islands on a boat excursion during your time in Dubrovnik.
Yes.
We booked a luxury cruise, so we had the boat to ourselves, and this was amazing because it just meant that we did things at our own pace. Robert and Carla on the tour catered to us. They took us around at our own pace. We told them what we wanted to do, which was go to a restaurant that we wanted, and they took us there. They did everything that we wanted, and that's what I enjoyed the most, the fact that it was personalised.
Yeah, it was quite open. It wasn't like a packed schedule, so we had a lot of options, but they very much catered to what we wanted to do, which was nice.
And we got to do some snorkeling. They took us to some hidden bays and hidden coves, rather than joining. Yeah, I know, the caves were so nice.
The caves that glow. They were amazing.
The underwater caves to do some snorkeling, and that is the benefit of going with them rather than going on a big busy boat, because if you are on a big busy boat with loads of other people, it will be quite packed when you get to the snorkeling areas. So that is the beauty of doing a private tour. We had an amazing time, and again, I'll leave the link in the video description to book this one, and of course the link to book some joined ones, which will be a little bit cheaper. Travel tip number 3, you have to spend some time in Lapad. Now, Dubrovnik is a pretty small place, but when people think about Dubrovnik, they think about the Old Town. Lapad is just a sort of area just outside of the Old Town, and it is so famous for its great hotels and some beautiful rock faces. I really suggest spending some time over in Lapad because it has some beautiful coves that you can just relax by the water on the rock faces.
We loved it, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was really relaxing.
It was so nice to find our own little private, like, rocky area and just throw the towels down, jump in the water to cool off, and just sunbathe over there. There's also a really nice beach club called Copacabana, which we spent a full afternoon there, and we hired a cabana, and the food there was great. They had water sports. They had a public beach. Not sure how much I love the public beach just because it's so busy.
Bit packed.
But if you are gonna, book a cabana, or one of the sun lounges, you'll have a lot of fun over there.
It's a great day.
But Lapad's great just because it is a little bit more out of the way. It's not as hectic as Dubrovnik Old Town, which is super, super busy.
I like that it's far enough out that you feel like you can chill out a bit and you can sunbathe and do all that stuff.
Exactly.
But it's not too far if you want to come in. So even if you wanted to stay out there during the day and come in here in the evening,
sure.
like you could do that.
Because accommodation in the Old Town can be pretty expensive sometimes, so you can't go wrong with staying in Lapad. Book a hotel over there. We stayed in Lapad for a few days, and you can just commute into the Old Town using public
really
transport
not that far
or using Uber. Like, we've been getting around everywhere using Uber, and it's not been incredibly expensive. You can get away with doing that, and Lapad is the perfect place to stay and to experience that. Next up, visit Mostar. Now, this is an amazing day and an amazing experience, but it is a long day. Now, Mostar is in a neighboring country known as Bosnia-Herzegovina, and to get over there, you will be taking a public coach with a load of other people in an organized tour, like we did. Use the link in the video description below to book the one that we did. It's really well organized, but it is a very long journey over there. It's about 3 hours on a coach to get to Mostar, but it is amazing once you're there. It is a beautiful...
It's worth the journey.
Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful, like, city, town.
I'd say it's more of a town vibe. It's very quaint.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Beautiful streets, cobbled streets
stunning.
with an amazing bridge, which everybody knows. It's so, so famous. You get to see people jumping off the bridge, and...
which is crazy because the water was freezing.
It is freezing cold, and I would honestly suggest that when you get there, you do take advantage of the walking tour. It is included in your trip, but bear in mind you only actually have 3 hours in Mostar.
Yeah, it went fast.
It went really fast. You only have 3 hours, and you have a 45-minute walking tour, which is included. So you could definitely do that. Then, in your own free time, just go and get some lunch, eat some Bosnian food. The Bosnian food is amazing.
Oh, wow, yeah, the food.
It honestly tastes like the best barbecue you've ever had, in my opinion.
Tasty.
Like, amazing, amazing food. The tour guide will probably give you some great suggestions. And then you can just potentially just go over to the river and just take a little boat trip.
Yeah, or we didn't manage to do the boat trip, but there was that place next to it, and it was just like sun lounges, and they were serving
And you can just chill there for a bit.
Relax,
and just relax and try and take it in as much as you can.
Watch the diving.
Yeah, watch the diving, but bear in mind it is really quite rushed. That's the only criticism I have of this tour.
Yeah, of that trip, the organised trip, it was quite, once we got there, we didn't have that much time.
Yeah, I think the only thing is, though, because it is relatively closely located to Dubrovnik, that is why it is offered as a tour.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to see Mostar and you want to see Croatia waterfalls, which also was amazing, and that's also included in the tour, the only real way to do it is by taking this arranged coach trip over there. Now, obviously, as I say, the caveat to that is it is really rushed. You only get to spend an hour at the waterfalls, which is nowhere near enough time because it takes 20 minutes to get down. You can only really spend 20 minutes down there. There's some restaurants. You don't really even have time to go for a swim.
Well, you have to sort of pick a thing. You can either get down there and swim, get down there and have a drink. We really don't have time to do both.
No, but that is the trip to Mostar and Croatia waterfalls, which you absolutely have to do. It's honestly amazing.
Oh, you've got to do it.
But again, very, very long day. 6 a.m. pickup, 7 p.m. arrival back at your hotel. Long, long day, but nonetheless an amazing experience. Travel tip number 5.
Mount Surd.
Mount Surd, I think it's called. Is that the pronunciation?
I just like to say
Honestly,
it that way.
This place has the best views of Dubrovnik. The best time to go is definitely for sunset, but if you can't go for sunset, just go up there and take in the incredible views of the Old Town, Lokrum Island, the Elaphiti Islands. You'll see everything from the top. There's also zip lining up there. You can take a buggy tour as well, but the way that you're going to get up there is taking a cable car. It is definitely a better option to buy a return ticket for the cable car because it turns out cheaper that way than just a one-way ticket, and it only takes 4 minutes to get to the top. And also, when you take the cable car up there, try and take the seats or the standing area at the back so you can actually see the Old Town rather than go into the front. A lot of people make that mistake, but honestly, I think it's amazing from up there, and
it's well worth the money to get up there via cable car.
It is, because you're saving time, you get the views, and also you get to enjoy the next travel tip, which is some of the best restaurants in Dubrovnik. And one of them is Restaurant Panorama. So travel tip number 6, it is enjoying the food and the restaurants that are amazing here in Dubrovnik. So tying into my last travel tip, which is Restaurant Panorama, this is at the top of the cable car at Mount Surd. Now, you need to reserve way in advance because especially during busy season, during the summer period, it is very, very difficult to get a seat outside with a view of the old town. So book weeks in advance. Now bear in mind it is incredibly expensive, but it is absolutely unbelievable.
It's necessary, so budget for that.
Budget for Restaurant Panorama. Food's amazing, cocktails are great, but the view's phenomenal. Now another of my favorite restaurants was Restaurant Bauer.
Oh my goodness, yes.
This was like so, it had such an exclusive, luxurious feeling to it, and it just didn't feel pretentious in any way either.
No.
The food was amazing. It's just an amazing, amazing experience. But the problem is, it is located on one of the Elaphiti Islands. So that means the way to get over there, you have to either take a boat trip or you can book their private boat. And to book their private boat, you do have to pay an extra 20 euros to take per person over there, which I guess is an experience in itself. Or, of course, you can just book the luxury cruise, which we did. And if you do that to the Elaphiti Islands and you ask the guys that are arranging the trip, they will book it around you and make sure that you get there and tie it into your trip. But I can highly suggest Restaurant Bauer. The fish is incredibly fresh. The food menu changes every single day.
Yeah, depending on what they catch.
Based on what they catch in the morning, so you already know that the fish is going to be incredible. And also it's got everything there. It's got its own like little private beach where you can just lay there and just...
Yeah, you could actually spend the day there if you could get there.
And if you can afford it, because also it's very expensive as well, so bear that in mind. And finally, my last favourite restaurant was Restaurant Dubrovnik.
Oh, that was so special.
It's located in the heart of the old town, like 5-10 minutes walk from here, and it's on like a rooftop, so it's got its own little terrace.
It's so beautiful.
It's lit up perfectly. They're actually going for their Michelin star, so you're getting...
Yeah. You thought that as well, didn't you?
Yeah, like you're sat there for a full tasting experience with the tasting menu, and you know, the ambience is just incredible.
The service there was incredible, I have to say.
Yeah, the service there is incredible, the food there is great, and it's honestly a restaurant that you cannot go wrong with. And
such a vibe.
To be honest, like, check out the other videos of this travel series by clicking that playlist up there, because we visited some incredible restaurants here in Dubrovnik. Bear in mind it is incredibly expensive. It's a very, very expensive city, but bear in mind you are getting your money's worth at the restaurants. And travel tip number 7, this is the summer festival. Now, for a period of a few months in the summertime, which is the busiest period here in Dubrovnik Old Town, there is a summer festival with various different performances, theatrical shows, Shakespeare, and also some musicals. Now, last night we actually enjoyed an incredible violin show.
Oh my god.
It was unbelievable, and it was located in Rector's Palace, which is one of the highlights of the Old Town that you need to see. So it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and the music was phenomenal. Make sure you book it, because it does get booked up very quick, weeks in advance. For me, it was a highlight.
Absolutely.
And last on that list, this is more of a bonus. Travel tip number 8 are 2 things that unfortunately we didn't get to do, but
not this time.
Not this trip, but it is a reason for us to return. This is visiting Lokrum Island. Lokrum Island is one of the neighbouring islands, very, very close to Dubrovnik. You can easily spend a full day there. A lot of excursions offer it. You can buy a ticket as well from the port. It's very easy to get to. Head over there, spend a day, spend half a day. There are lots of fun activities to do there. A beach, restaurant, Dead Sea, botanical gardens. Go head over to Lokrum Island. You'll have a lot of fun. And also go kayaking.
Yeah, we've seen so many people do that.
Yeah, there is a big kayaking culture over here. Like, a lot of tourists do love coming to Dubrovnik to do their sunset kayak. You go to one of the neighbouring beaches, one of the caves, I think it's called Bettina Cave. Get to do a little bit of snorkeling around there, and you kayak around Lokrum Island and then enjoy the sunset from your kayak. So yeah, these are 2 extra bonuses
Win-win
to bear in mind for your trip in Dubrovnik. And that is pretty much the list of the top tips, the top 8 things that you need to do when you visit Dubrovnik. Now guys, if you want to book any of these tours, I'm going to be linking them in the video description. That has the best price and the best place to book these tours. They're all tours that I've done, so I can highly recommend them. I've experienced them and I've loved every moment of it. This is the way to get the most from your trip here in Dubrovnik.
Absolutely.
So guys, if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button also to get notified for the weekly uploads, and also check out this playlist right here that has all the videos in detail of all the things that we got up to whilst we were here in Dubrovnik. So that is it for this one, and as always,
see you in the next one.